quick apologies, folks. If you see the light in the video going darker and lighter and darker and lighter, I'm sorry. I'm actually filming this on my mobile phone at the minute. This topic, what I'm about to hit, was so shocking. I didn't have the time to get all the airbrush razzmatazz and put it through the editors and stuff like that. And I want to deal with it as hardcore as fucking possible. Right. We've only been told today that First Bus are removing their night bus network from the Glasgow system, right? Wow. I went into work today and somebody said to me, "Have you not heard?" I was like, "Have I not heard what?" And the guy said, "Have you heard the First Bus are taking their night bus service off?" That was the first I ever heard about it. On a kind of similar note, they are removing 14 bus services from their portfolio of Glasgow bus services. Now, that news has been out since about June. But this news that I'm talking about tonight is shocking. Now, the amount of time I've been in the town on a night out, a Saturday night, or a Friday night to Saturday morning, or Saturday night to Sunday morning, and the queue up at Gordon Street taxi rank has been friggin' humongous. It has been quite massive. And also bear in mind, post-COVID, we have 30% less taxis on Glasgow's roads. So these night buses were amazingly good at getting people home and getting home comfortably and cheaply. Like at one point it was a £2 £2 fare, getting yourself to wherever you stay. Quite good. And the buses were never rammed. There were very seldom incidents of aggression, almost unheard of actually. You had more of an issue of maybe people throwing up, but even that was on the down low. As I say, £2 when it first started, this night bus service, getting people home, absolutely great, brilliant. But they have removed the night buses, taking weekend revellers home away completely. There's no SPT equivalent going to be happening. I think this decision was absolutely delusional. Now, they base the idea of the buses not returning a big profit and the bums on seat ratio were no more than 12 bums on seats per bus. You could see what they're saying about the westbound night services going towards Clydebank and Drumchapel and stuff like that. But see when it came the opposite side, like Rutherglen and Motherwell, buses were quite busy, but they weren't like shockingly busy. But it was enough to ping a couple quid into the vaults. I just think this decision is another of typical First Bus, do first and review second. I think it's just an absolute dumb idea. Plus, the City Council were, for a long amount of time, given First Bus money to run these buses so that it prevents people drink driving and stuff like that. Whether that pot of money's disappeared, I don't quite know. But saying this night service isn't getting enough money is actually fatally stupid. If they're worried about buses being near enough empty, for instance, 2 weekends ago I was on an N60 and it was a double decker. There was only about 11 on the bus. You know what you do? leave it double deck in the bus yard, and get one of them smaller buses, the streetlight buses, or I think it's E200 MMC, that's the Dennis's. Them wee small buses, the streetlights are even smaller. You could utilise the buses all day long. They are the LEZ compliant, so you don't need to go, oh, but you can't use streetlight in Glasgow because it's LEZ compatible. Yeah, you can. Same with the Enviro 200 MMCs, right? Taking these buses off is capital A stupidity. It doesn't make value for money common sense that you're trying to gurgle on about. First bus, and there are plenty of buses in the first portfolio that are LEZ compliant and small enough to do the job and capable enough to do the job. It's just about depot planning, I would have thought. And the thing is, I say, with Asti, if I got a taxi at that time of night, one, I'd be probably waiting minimalistically an hour and a half at Gordon Street. And two, to get me to where my home point is, it probably costs about £30. So this decision is absolutely bonkers, got to say. Absolutely bonkers. I mean, where I stay is not a hip, skip and jump away from Glasgow city centre. If you decided taxi's too much and you use feet to get to my home location, we are talking about a 3 hour walk, especially through some of the most sketchiest parts of Glasgow city centre. It's not advised, and somebody would probably start clicking on to a person on their own, walking multiple miles, vulnerability, boom, that's where violence and potentially severe assault could happen. It's just an absolute. I'm confused. The thing I'm next going to go on to, see if First West want to put a route on, they have to contact the Transport Commissioner in Edinburgh, and there's got to be about 30 days of between writing the route and sending it to the Transport Commissioner and then getting your reply from the Transport Commissioner and actually starting the run. So it's not just 30 days, it's 30 days to get it to the Commissioner's desk, but it's an additional 30 days to get things running, and in total obviously 60. And that rule pretty much applies with the reverse, as in taking something off. And as I say, the 14 routes that are being they've been advertised since June, where this has been a snap decision from the heads of first, and there has been no warning. So what I'm trying to say is, I don't think the Transport Commissioner has been properly informed on this matter at all, and I wonder how the City Council would actually look upon it as well, and probably they would not be hugely happy with First, and I'm not hugely happy with First myself because there hasn't been even minimalistically 30 days to actually go, wait a minute, amend your travel plans. The city of Glasgow, when it comes to partying, it's probably one of the biggest cities to party in Scotland. So to take away the night bus is absolutely delusional. I've partied in Dundee, Glasgow, Aberdeen, and quite a few English cities, including Manchester. All the other cities, they've got our night buses and they're running fine. Are they thinking about jacking in the night bus? No, absolutely not. Especially Manchester at night. There was one time where I went to Manchester Airport on a corporate bus, also known as a stagecoach bus, at 4 o'clock on a Sunday morning. Not a problem whatsoever. Good cheap fare, by the way, and I'm not rubbing that in. But ultimately, I was able to get back to the hotel just after 5:45 in the morning, and it was a stream of buses at that time of night. It wasn't just like one bus an hour. Plenty. You didn't need to worry. You could pay your fare with your card or money. It was brilliant. I just don't really understand. The first thing, this is a great idea, and what I've tried to outline previously should say, wait a minute, no, that was actually a crap idea. In the history of the night bus was cancelled during lockdown because of the risk of coronavirus. Got brought on again, full night route, and now they're taking it completely away. I think it's absolutely outrageous, how little warning they've given the public, and I think the same little warning has probably even been given to the Transport Commissioner, and to be honest, I wouldn't even be remotely surprised if they hadn't contacted the Transport Commissioner yet. It's just wow, just like seriously, like it's not always practical to for me to get my electric bike and ride into town and try and find a parking spot which is CCTV covered at a certain time on a Saturday night. You'd be having to zigzag through every district in the town just to find a place to quietly park it. And then if the police see you cycling, they could quite rightly do a breathalyzer test on you, because it's a two-wheeled vehicle. They can still is a vehicle, so trying to go, oh well, walk into town. Well, when there's a distance between town and a home location upwards of 5 miles, that's going to be very sore in the feet, especially if you've been dancing away previously. I don't know. I don't know if the bus company anymore first, but I know they've given out routes to other companies like McCall's, McGill's, Stagecoach apparently. But this could be an opportunity where one's loss is another's game, right? McGill's getting quite a big operator now. They don't just do their wee the usual corporate runs like Glasgow to Paisley, Paisley to Johnson, and all the rest of it. They're bigger than that. They are actually in charge of their own private hire coaches and also the famous Flixbus. Apparently, they've even had wee silent nudges towards National Express. Maybe one of the main coaches have broke down and they've put their hand up and said, "Yep, we can help." But I can tell you for something, a company so big, when they hear about this, they might actually put up their hand and go, "Hey, we might be able to help." That would be good to see. And that certainly would be amazing, because, just to go from, a full night bus network to nothing, it's quite a culture shock. And I tell you something, if this void doesn't get filled by either another operator or just left completely, the town is going to become much quieter on a Friday, Saturday night. People won't want to go into town. I don't really want to go in the way it is, but ultimately this could really hit things economically. And besides, standing in a taxi queue for upwards of an hour and a half when your pal went round the corner, got on a night bus and home with that in that hour and a half, you feel pretty sore, to be honest. You really do feel pretty sore in the things. But yeah, I just wanted to throw my opinion into the ring about a situation lack of information, like a title of information that first busted. That was shocking. That was a shocking fuck you to the customers. But that could be equally a massive, big fuck you to the Transport Commissioner, because the Transport Commissioner can actually take a bus operator off the roads or put him on the road. And I think that lack of information is going to not go well at all. Anyway, I'm away. Catch